Hey, everybody. We are back. I'm excited to have you with us today because once again, for her second time back, and she didn't run away, right? Christine Capitos, want like the like music coming in. We need music coming in for you,
I know,
Christine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
We
thinking
have to
that.
work on it, but thank you. And for those of you who don't know, Clint, we have literally been trying to get Clint on for about, I would literally say 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And we had Clint with the flu. Okay. We had Christine, who forgot her fiance's birthday,
And she
Puffy,
became a pirate.
right? Then her eye almost fell out. And we like, well, no, you can't be on with an eye patch, even though I mean that's kind of badass, but no. So she said no. I wanted to do it. She said no. Right. Then we had a hurricane hit my house here in North Carolina, and the power goes out. Right. And then literally tonight, I thought we're on and we're doing this at 7 o'clock. I thought it was like 7 o'clock. It's really 6:45, and literally I scrambled for 2 minutes putting stuff together trying to get here. Literally, you two would have killed me, right? So here we are, Clint. 3 months later, man. But good to good to have you, man.
Thanks. It's nice to be here as well.
Yeah. So all right, so check it out. So Christine and I are doing this for the second time together, but I mean, we've known each other for a while, right? And when Christine brought your name up, I was like, oh hell yeah. I was like, get it in. But like as we've known each other and I've looked at everything kind of like prepping here, the first question that I have to go to is like your career, right? For like 12 years, you've done B2B, and it's been, I guess, I don't know, about like mine. You've bounced a little bit, and then you finally have found your thing, man. So like talk on that because you had reality. You had real estate. You had other pieces. Like how'd you end up here?
Well, like I did corporate America right out of school. And when I was doing that, I thought it was the way to go. You're supposed to build with these big companies and you're going to work your way up the chain. And then I don't know, you quickly find out like your next promotion is Nebraska or like fucking Idaho. And I'm
Hey,
like, I'm
sorry
not,
for the people in Nebraska and Otter Hill. I mean, are bad for that, right? I mean, love you guys, but
yeah, I
cool.
mean, yeah, but for me, that's not where I, tended to want to be. And so, I mean, I was moving up quickly at these companies, and and then I said to myself after a while, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm not going to be here forever. So why waste the time? And then I started to say to myself, like, I want to do something more independent where I can be on my own and figure this shit out. And it was like the worst economy, like 2008-ish, 9-ish or something like that. And I was like, I'm gonna go get into real estate. Everyone's like, everyone's getting out of it. And I'm like, well, that's the perfect time to get in when everyone gets out because shit, you can't do no worse than the worst. Like everyone's gone. And then I just came in and I like literally I had no idea what to fucking do at all. And all these companies tell you they'll give you all this training and all this help, but they don't. And then when you get there, it's literally just like, what are you doing? I'm just sitting there like staring at the computer and like, all right, I see Dave. Do you click on him? How do you find out where his glasses are? Like if you're looking for a house, and I'm just like, and I would just start asking people. Everyone's too busy. Everyone's too busy. So like, I've looked at things as you just got to learn it the way you're going to learn it yourself, like the way you'll remember it the best. So I just started going on realtor.com and looking up all these other things. And then I just started telling everybody what I do. I'm like, well, I don't know. These random people are not going to want to use me if they don't know me. And I got to act like I know what I'm doing at first. So like find people that know me first and don't trust me. So I literally just started messaging people on Facebook I don't even think Instagram was out yet or wherever, and just started texting people,
MySpace.
hey, I do real estate if you know anybody. Um, and then people just start messaging me back, okay, yeah, I'm looking for a house. Can you help me? Okay, cool. I'm like, I literally don't know what the hell I'm doing, just so you know. Like, I'm gonna be in the same boat as you. And I just figured be honest with them, and they're not gonna like they'll appreciate it more because you're trying. And I remember there are some people that like when people think the price ranges are crazy, like there are some people looking for $1 million place, and I would walk into a place with them too, and they're like, oh, so have you been looking? I'm like, this is literally the fifth house I've ever shown in my life. I have no idea what I'm doing. So, like, if you want to tell us what we're supposed to be looking for, maybe that'll help us. And like the buyers are laughing, and then I think I just felt better rapport with them from doing that. And I did that for quite a few years, and I got into the commercial side of it. And then I just realized like that business is so excuse my language, fucking cutthroat. Like, no one cares about you. Like, people tell you they're your friends, and then Dave's like, sorry, I had to use my wife's cousin's brother's sister, and I'm still your friend, but no big deal, right? And then I'm just like, weekends are gone, nights are gone. You gotta ride around in your car. I'm like, I'm not gonna be these people's chauffeur for the rest of my life. Like, and then you're a psychologist with them too. Like, you're hearing their dating problems, their marriage problems, and you're just like, you know what? I don't get paid to be a psychologist. I'm not doing this forever. So then I was like, I can always handle it to do it like part time for a while. And then I'm like, what is something that I can transition to? Then I found like the tech world, and when I got into that, it was automation for like this big computer company that put the basically the storage and stuff in it for big movie theaters and their processors and all this stuff. And it was going good and it was a cool job and everything. And then just like when you watch when they start doing that, it's just like, all right, Dave, you're gone. I'm sorry, we love you. You're a great employee, but you're gone. I'm like, this is it. Like, I thought we were friends, and and they're like, yeah, but it's just I'm like, but you're still driving like a Bentley, and he's one of the owners of the company, and I'm like, but like all your sons are there, and all like, and it's just you realize the favoritism is always going to be there. So then I'm like, I can't do this for a while, like because this is just constantly going to be an uphill battle of getting fired. Like when the economy's great, you'll do good, but when it's bad, you're got to find something different. And I have a handful of friends that I see on LinkedIn every 8 months looking for a new job. And it's just like, so I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with this forever. If I want to build something, I want to build it from the ground up for myself. And then someone out of the blue is like, health insurance, like, you can make money when you sleep, when you build it up. And I'm like, well, what do I got to do? And they're like, well, the hardest part's finding people. I'm like, that's the easiest part for me. Like, I can find people like in a day. I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. And they're like, well, that's the easy part teaching you. I'm like, all right, how hard can this be? And they're like, I was like, so I can only do like one state, right? And they're like, no, you can do every state in the US. I'm like, so you mean I have like, I don't know, 200, 300 million people I can go after and literally they could be clients and they go, yeah. So I just said, all right, I passed my test and all that. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not doing the phone calls. Like I just tried doing a phone call system type thing. And I personally realized in that business, I know it's different in others, but when you're calling Dave and you're like the eighth person he's talked to about insurance, he doesn't want to hear that shit anymore. And he's like eating dinner, and you're like, and I'm like, why would he ever want to stay with me, even if he signs up? Like, if he meets somebody, he's going to leave me to sign up with somebody else. So I was like, I'm just going to build this, forget the phones. I'm just going to go walk, meet people, call people, add people on LinkedIn. Like, that's how I met Christine, like, just literally adding her on LinkedIn and Facebook. I've done like probably 30, 50 people off of there. LinkedIn is probably now 50 off of there. And I just tell people, I'll text them, I'm like, hey man, don't forget about me. If you ever need health insurance, great. If not, hey, just think of me, here's my card. And they're like, oh cool, how you been? And then I don't beat it in their heads. And then I just like miraculously, as you start just doing the right thing for people and you don't bug them with it, they just start referring you people, and it's just been building and building and building now. And it's like I tell people sometimes, like, I don't get paid for everything that I do. Cause sometimes like I'll go through all this work and I'm like, Dave, no, man, like seamless where you're at is giving you great insurance. Stick with it, stay with it. Here's what you do if you leave the company, and here's how you want to handle that. And people are like, oh, so I'm good where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, you have the best options available. And I think when you start doing that more and more, and it's more fulfillment from that, it just starts to build the right way, is what you notice, versus like, well, I lied to Dave and I put him on a plan where he's going to be unhappy in a few months and say, why am I overpaying and all this. So as I've been building that over the past like year and a half, 2 years now, I've just seen like a drastic like referral business coming in, and essentially that's what everyone thrives to be off of. And I was like, why not do it from the start instead of just waiting on the phones for that type of sale? Versus most of these people are not calling, like, when they say online or filling this out. I've not met 10 people in my life that said, I went online and filled out for health insurance. I waited for 50 people to call me, and I'm going to wait for the best person. Like, I don't know how these people get some of their numbers and stuff, but I just said, find the people, build the connections, and grow it that way organically. And that's going to be my best bet.
Nice.
So I've been building that and it just keeps growing and growing.
Nice. Christine, you're the same way, aren't you? Like, haven't you done everything organically with your business?
Her and I kind of taught each other this.
Yeah, we were he's the OG. We go way back. We connected like right after I got laid off.
Wow.
And
Okay. So
Clint, yeah, Clint came through for me during a hard time when I needed health insurance.
got
And
it.
I have medications and like, yeah, it was going to be hundreds of dollars that I didn't have because I
Yeah.
was, unemployed. Um, so yeah, it was I don't remember exactly how we met, if I messaged you or if you messaged me, or I think we were just kind of chatting, had connected over our like posts somehow, and then you were like, "Hey, by the
Yeah.
way, I do health insurance." And I was like, well, we had already kind of built that relationship, and I was like, well, funny enough, like I can you help me? And he ended up really, really coming through. So
Nice, man. I mean, like you said a few things that just stuck with me. Like, I do things the right way. I take care of people, tell people the way it is, right? Like in terms of, hey man, you're in the best spot. Can't really help. You don't
yeah,
need my help,
that
right?
intent,
Like,
yeah.
and then good things happen. It's like crazy, right? Like everybody always like is like, well, how do you get all the referral business? And like I've only been in my company what for I don't know. I think I'm 4 years. I don't know. I lose track. And I'm just now beginning to get some of that piece. And
Mhm.
it's just you treat people the right way and you be honest with them. And I've screwed up and be honest with people and like, hey man, I screwed that one entirely up. I'm going to
Mhm.
make it up to you. Let me get it right. Let me fix it for you. Usually
Yeah.
people forgive you. It's that kind of deal. So that's pretty cool. Now, I mean, when you say from your standpoint now, Clint, right? Like, okay, you have referrals and word of mouth and is going, but what other lines do you put out there? A little bit on LinkedIn? Do you go to associations? Like, what other lines do you have other than your referrals right now?
So like I'll literally like for example, I have like 5,000 friends on Facebook. Like I'm just one of those people that people, oh, I'll like they remember me from 10 years ago or 3 years, 5 years. And what I realize is like I'm a big Gary Vee fan just because like of the consistency. And
Yeah,
I think me and Christine talked about this. If you don't give up and you post you post shit or you do whatever you do every day, people will remember it and you can't lose if you don't give up.
Mhm.
So I just said, I'm going to start posting every day. And one thing I'm really good at is photography. Like I take
really.
really good pictures and it's like I could be in a room, 10 people take a picture, they'll ask me to take the same picture for them over with their phone. And I'll go, okay, I love it now. So it's just something I realize I'm really good at. So what I do is I post a lot of the outside pictures outdoors that people like, put a positive quote, and then I started saying a year ago, I have to come with some kind of slogan that people will remember me for. And I'm like, health is wealth. And I don't know how it just like I randomly just thought of it. So every single thing I post on Facebook has health as well. And I shit you not, I'll just see people out. I will talk to people that haven't liked a post of mine on Facebook in 3 months. I love your picture, man. Health is wealth. And I'm like, why don't you like any of my pictures out of curiosity if you like them and you remember what I'm saying? They're like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, well,
They're
cool, man. I'm glad you like
lurkers.
what's that?
They're lurkers. They
But
lurk.
yeah, I mean that's true, but like, and I love it because it means they're still watching. And I was like, the fact they're telling me health is wealth, it means they're reading it. And what I'll do is I'll post like a sunset picture, a cool picture of like food I made the other night. Just something to keep it interactive because nobody wants to see the same boring shit about health insurance every day. And then I'll post my card on like the story and I'll post it up there. Hey, if anybody knows anybody looking for it in any state, reach out. I can help you. And that's it. I don't beg anybody. I don't tell anybody. And that'll be one Facebook. LinkedIn, I'll post things that help other people grow and just I'll try to help them first and make them want to come back and ask me what I do. Because then when they ask you, they're organically more drawn to want to work with you. I've learned is like versus if you beating down their neck like a cold call, they're kind of like, Oh, so what do you do? Oh, health. Oh, good, great. Oh, cool. And I don't sit there and say, well, let me see everything you got now. Hey, if I can ever help you, let me know. And then you just kind of leave it out there, but they're still reading your shit every day you're posting on LinkedIn and everything else. And then Instagram, I was like, how else can I get to all these people? So I posted on my story every other day and I screenshot my business card and I put, I can help anybody in any state. And then I'll just check into like North Carolina, as you can check in for location, post it. Cause I realize when the people look at those locations, all those people in North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, or just wherever. And I've had random people message me from there and somehow I end up on a phone with them and they're like, hey, can you help my dad out? Actually, like he was looking for it. And then I found you online. I've got their dad health insurance and then the mom health insurance. And then like I've now became friends with the family. I've never even met these people. I couldn't even tell you like, but now I have like a picture of their dog. They'll text me once in a while and they'll say like, hey, I hope your Steelers lose this week and we'll talk
Bro,
shit to each other. Yeah. And then they're referring me people now. So I'm like, when I see it going that way, I'm like, that's cool. And then another thing that I've thought is like, I like being outside and like exercising. So I started walking and I'm like, I'm just gonna walk by everybody every day and wave to them. And somebody's like, why? And I'm like, because when you're friendly with people, they're either going to want to know what you do or know why you're so friendly. So I found like this multi-million-dollar neighborhood in my area, and I walk through the streets every
oh,
day,
dude, get out. You're
and
just
I
like,
wave to
you're just strolling.
I wave to every single car that comes by. And like I've met the owner of Orange Theory Fitness. I've met CEOs of companies, and they stop and they go, "We see you every day." And I'm like,
You're the
"Hey, it's Clint.
walking
Nice to meet."
guy.
Do they
Uh-huh.
ask if you live there?
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, 100%. I say, "No, I
Like you
actually live
say
on the
no.
other side of the bridge. We see you every day. Me and my wife talk about you. If you ever need water, come and knock on the door." I mean,
What are
these
you
are
dying out there? Like, I mean, like what the like? I mean, like what's going
He's
on? Like,
campaigning. He's
are people
campaigning.
well,
worried? Are
because
people
sometimes
worried
it's in the
about
middle
you?
of
Like
July.
what's up?
Yeah, because it's in July and August sometimes when it's like 100 degrees out. And I'll do it in the morning and evenings. And I'm like, because that's when they're going to work and that's when they're coming home.
Dude, I
So that's when
love
they'll
the
see me.
fact you're walking in the bougie neighborhood at when people are
Oh, bougie
driving.
as
You're
hell
like,
too.
hey, it's a billboard. And now, like, all right, I have to know. Like with
That
that
is some
people,
Gary Vee shit. That is
I
some
mean,
Gary
dude,
Vee
that
shit.
is legit.
Yeah.
So when you walk, are we giving
Yep.
like a point? Are we giving like a peace sign? Or are you going straight up like
Nope, just straight up the
wave? Right, like
smile,
yeah,
just straight up
like
the smile
Rose,
and the wave.
you know?
And then that's it. And then like, because what I said, and they're like, I'll be honest, they're like four assholes that I've met, and they wouldn't wave to me. And I could tell like they drove the G Wagons, these real expensive cars, and they wouldn't wave to me. But I kept waving to them every day, twice a day. Finally, the guy stops and he goes, "Who are you?" And I go, "I'm Clint. Who are you?" Come to find out, his wife owns like have you ever heard of that what is it for shampoo? It's called like 10 or something like that. His wife's the creator of this huge ass company. He has this massive company. He's like, I shit you not, I see you out here every day. And then I didn't see you for 2 days. I'm like, where the hell is he at? And I'm like, really? And he goes, like, he goes, I don't know how you subliminally got in my head, but me and my wife talk about you. Did you see him today? She's like, yeah. He's like, he was petting the dog earlier. And because they have this big dog that was walking up and down the road, but they have like a personal caretaker. So like they see
Sure.
me
I mean,
pet.
who doesn't? I mean, sure.
Yeah, right. And when you're in that neighborhood. And so now they know me as Clint. I do health insurance. The half the neighborhood has my business cards now. I've gotten like 5 people from them to call me that have been friends. And it's just growing. But now I'll be walking in the neighborhood. They're coming like the other way from they're beeping and waving, stopping, they're giving me
You
waters.
now are stuck. You now got to walk in the neighborhood constantly. You're done. You cannot
Oh,
take a day
done.
off, or they may post on that little Facebook group chat they have in the
Yeah.
neighborhood of
Missing
where's your
cats.
guy at.
Well, it's funny you say that because like when I was in Pittsburgh for 2 weeks for Christmas and I was up there, I'm driving, like I'm back to walking in the neighborhood and like 4 cars stop. Where the hell you been? And we thought you were sick. What happened to you? Where were you? And I'm like,
Dude,
oh,
if
I
you
was
don't
up
get a
north.
picture, if you don't get a picture the next time that someone
Yeah,
stops you
that's
and
a good
takes the
idea.
picture and post it to about, I don't know, every social media thing you can possibly name, right? You're
I could do like
crazy.
a series.
Oh, 100, and then they'd be jealous. Could you imagine the
Yeah.
jealousy they would have? Oh my
You have
God,
to
you
get their
gotta.
permission. You have to get their permission to post it, though, the picture of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would think that's an obvious one, but I mean, yeah, I mean,
I
yes,
don't
Christine.
know.
Most of them
I
don't
mean,
care,
dude, I
like.
mean, I would be, God, get the picture and then and they'll be the only one with the picture in the neighborhood. Stupid.
Yeah,
I'll take
I
credit for
thought about
that.
doing
That's
that,
fine.
sending out
Just give me
postcards.
that later when that comes up. See, Christine, I ain't creative. Look, see, right? But yeah,
Exactly.
like really, you're not. But that's fine. That's cool and all.
But the best one was that I met these like TikTokers, and I don't know how, like they just randomly they drive Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and I had no idea who they were. And I'm waving to them every day, and they stopped one day, and I don't know how the hell they did this. They found me on Instagram without even me giving me their name or anything like that. They started following me, and then they go, I guess their parents live in an like they're like pretty famous in this avenue of it.
How old?
Um,
Like what?
they're probably 24,
Okay.
25, but like Lamborghinis, Ferrari, like, and like they have them customized for them. And they go, and then they start messaging me on there and they're like, hey man, good work. We see you out there every day. And I'm like, what fucking people are? And then I remember the cars in the driveway and I'm like, wait a minute. Now the dad's waving to me. Now the mom's waving to me. They're the ones that start inviting me in their house and saying, if you ever need water, it gets too hot, you ever get food, anything. And now they're like starting to send messages. And then they go, send us your business card. And I was like, then I sent it to them. They're posting it now on their social media for me. I had never even
Oh,
asked them once to
oh,
do it. And it was
okay.
just me being cool with them. And they're like, hey, man, we want to try to grow your business for you. And I'm like, thanks, man. Hey, as much as you want
Dude,
to post it, go ahead.
I mean, I hope somebody out there does B2C work and just listen to that.
And yeah.
Clint had no idea what the hell was going on. He walks in the neighborhoods and waves at people and is getting
And he's
business.
got millionaires posting his
Right, he's
business.
got
Yeah,
influencers
like it's the
posting
most
about him.
random
People are
thing.
inviting him in for dinner right now. Like, I
Clint,
mean,
how many clients do you have? How many people
Uh,
have you?
since I started from that neighborhood.
Like, yeah, in general.
in general.
Probably like close to, I'd say like 200 now, maybe. But like given too, like I've had people come and have to go because I'll tell them when they call me, like I've been helping Christine out and she calls me and she says, hey, I got this job with this company. I'm gonna be like a part owner. And I go, take that. That's a better deal for you.
Mhm.
Like, so people come and go and then come back. So I'm starting to see a lot of, that,
Where
but
do you put that in terms of like in the industry average? Is that usually like an 8 year kind of mark and you're at the 3 mark, or are you on
I
pace
would
or like
say so. So a lot of people beat the phones, and I guess that's where they get a lot of it. But I guess on average, when they do, and now remember, this isn't like the sell that you're kind of doing. This is more
yeah.
like you're having a bunch of, I don't know, 10 people calling the same person.
Mhm.
So, and it's like, and then when it's open, you can shop it. But I'm like, these people have no bond to anybody. So you'll find the majority of people doing the phone sales are losing most of their business,
Right.
or they've signed up with
Churn.
somebody else they know.
Yeah.
So, but I would say the way I'm doing it, like,
You're building it out so it's like it's
yeah,
passive.
and it's like Christine's actually referred me this guy, Dennis. Um, the guy from Arizona. Is that where he's from?
Yeah.
Great guy. And him and I still talk like every other month. I know about his wife, his kids. Like he's asking me how my sister's doing. Like, and he's referred me his kid. And
When
like,
Patrick's not in corporate anymore eventually, because I'm gonna retire him, um,
hey, see, right?
he'll get health insurance from you.
Oh, me?
What?
You're gonna retire me?
No, Patrick.
Oh, I was like, shit. I mean, am I
That like
being
Patrick
retired?
will
Like,
get
what's
his
going
health
on?
insurance. Yeah, like it's only just gonna keep
Oh,
growing,
you're definitely gonna. There's no doubt. I mean, Patrick's. Yeah, he's done. At some point of time, you're gonna take him, and you guys are gonna go and like just build your business or his business or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Does he
Uh-huh.
know
And he'll
about
be
this
working
plan?
with you or for you
Oh
too.
yeah, when we met, he had his own business. Like when we met, we were both entrepreneurs, like
Oh, ballers.
2018, yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So I'm the only one here without my own. I mean, thing. I mean, that's cool. I mean, fine.
Have the most followers out of all of us. So
What? Don't go there. This show's not about me. No one wants to hear about my crap. I mean, I can guarantee it. So Clint,
How many
like,
followers do you have?
dude, don't worry about that crap. No one gives a
no, just
damn.
say stop being
Fucking
weird.
like 18, I don't know, 17,000,
Oh,
18,000,
just like
something like that.
17,000.
Don't do
I have eight.
that.
I got
Don't do
8,000.
that.
What do you
So,
have, Clint?
I have like 8,000.
Listen, I'm the underdog of all of us.
yeah, but you have more engagement, Christine.
Well, it's a different, like a monetized audience is not equal to a non-monetized audience. It's way easier, not easier, but it is. It's just different growing with an ulterior motive versus growing like just based off of, you
No, I
know.
hear you. I hear it. So, Clint, then what keeps you going every day, man? And I know you're helping people and stuff like that. I get that. Take that out. That's too easy an answer.
Yeah.
What,
What
what?
motivates me?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So like so honestly, like I've realized like, when people say you got to find your why, your purpose in like life. And I've realized, like I said, I've met like NFL stars, celebrities, people that own like companies have sold them. And you sit there and you watch them, and like, yes, they sit there all day, and a lot of them don't have to do anything. And I'm like, the most enjoyment I get is when I help somebody. And I don't mean it has to be for health insurance, but just helping them, like having a bad day. And I'm sitting there talking to Christine for an hour, and like I helped her just get through something. And I'm like, they're like, I've probably helped, even in that neighborhood, I've probably helped 10 people with broken down cars, push their cars to other places.
Yeah.
And like the
Well, the
one was the
cars
owner.
break down in like the real like expensive neighborhood.
No, I wouldn't say they
Yeah, they're
break down.
real horses. They don't have those
Like,
warranties,
like, like, what's going on? There's no tow truck around, or I mean, like, what's like what?
But like they like the one guy was from like Orange Theory, and he got his wife owns it, and Orange Theory Fitness,
Yeah,
and he had a flat tire by the bridge. So like I seen him trying, he was having difficulty. So I jumped under the car with him. I helped him jack it up and do all this stuff. And then before I know it, I didn't know who he was. He tells me, we start talking. I'm like, he's like, I see you every day. You're the one walking. And I'm like, yeah, that's me, Clint. Nice
dude.
to meet you. And he goes, my wife owns Orange Theory. We own a bunch of them throughout maybe you should come in. We'll give you some free workouts if you ever want. I want you to meet Ellen, and it's just, I
Yeah.
was like, but like the fulfillment you get when you just help them. And I wasn't asking for anything. And it's like,
Yeah,
I want to be able to grow this so that I can just continue to be like free to be able to help as much people as possible, because sometimes somebody just needs to talk. Sometimes people just, like, how many people walk by that guy with a broken down tire that day without helping because they're more worried about doing some shit that they shouldn't have to do or want to do? But yet, like, I want to be able to help as many of those people because it's like more fulfillment than anything to me.
that's
Like,
cool,
so that,
dude. That's
You're like
cool.
the Batman of
Yeah,
St.
man. I mean, you're like,
Or where do
dude.
you live again?
Pittsburgh and Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. I knew Pittsburgh, but Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, you're like the Batman of Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, he's gonna help people, man. Like wave to them and like just, I mean, they're fixing
Literally, just
cars.
wait to.
Now, I'm gonna say this little fun, little fact. You guys are gonna chuckle. You probably say I could have guessed that. I've never changed a tire in my life. Like I don't.
Really?
No, 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 no. I know my strengths. That's not one of them. That's not one of them at all. Me, triple A, yo. Here's where I'm at. Hey, here's a little pin thing. I'm on the side of the road at mile marker, whatever. Cool, done. Right? No, no. I don't do any of that, man. No, no.
I learned at
Well,
like
good for you.
12.
What's that?
I said I learned at like 12 because
Of
I had a
course you
flat
did.
tire.
Right? I mean, of
I
course
can
you did.
change a tire.
And again, there's no doubt you live on like a an estate out there. You have to be
I'm
able
just
to.
kidding. I can't change a tire.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you
I
No,
don't
can or
think you
not.
I know.
can.
I know. I can't.
That'd be a great video if you did though.
I could support someone who's changing a tire.
Like clap,
Like cheerleader.
Give them whatever,
like moral, like bring water, like
hand them a screwdriver. Yeah, ask if they need their.
Are you trying to make it worse?
Yeah.
puncture it and you stab it. Like what?
Poke the tire harder so it goes flat.
Isn't there a tool that they need? A wrench?
Yeah,
So,
wrench.
there's a oh my god, yeah, there's a lug wrench. Yes, we're gonna work. Hell, I knew that. I suck. So Clint, like Who do you go to? Who do you go to when you have a bad day? Who's your go-to person out there, man?
Uh, Probably my mom and music.
Music. All right.
Yeah. I like, you know what I just come to find out? Like, if you look, and I don't know, this is my personal opinion. When people have a bad day and you see them out walking, they're listening to music. When they go to a club and they hate work, they're out listening to music. And it's like whatever genre you love or you listen, it could be 80s, 70s, rap, hip hop, country. It's like that's what clears your mind and however you relate to it. And it's like I'll just go on a walk and I'll listen to the music sometimes. And you're like, okay, cool. I can figure this out now. I can well, look at this. There's a solution for everything. You just have to sit there and think about it and don't overreact because that's what's going to make it worse. And sometimes, like, and I mean, you get shitty people you deal with. And I think sometimes I've realized the nicer you are, the better. And I'm not going to say who, but there have been people that sometimes are like, good luck with her or him, talking about their husband or wife. And I'm like, wow, what do you mean? And they're like, they're hard to deal with. And then, like, I think they were from New York. And then the guy goes to me, he goes, how'd it go? Like 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, I'm supposed to talk to your wife in like 3 days. He goes, what? And I'm like, he's like, she was nice to you? And I'm like, yeah, we were just talking about like Pittsburgh, Florida, and New York, and this is that. He goes, she don't talk to me like that. And I'm like, and I was like, just
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Like, what do you got?
right.
Like marriage counseling? I'm like, hey, look, we have insurance, and also we can come over here.
No, it's because
I,
when
I,
you're a nice person, it's really hard for people to be not nice
an
to you.
asshole.
And they're the asshole. Yeah.
And I think, and I've had people come back that have and done stuff, and I shit you not, like this is even back in real estate years and years ago. They would apologize to me 2 years later, and they're like, "I'm so sorry, I was an asshole." And they're like, "You were telling me the truth, and I didn't believe it." And I'm like, "It's who you are," and they hate hearing that more than anything. And then they go, "I deserve that," and I just wanted you to know.
Wow.
And
Did you
I go,
drop the you? I saw Christine's face too. You dropped the "that's who you are" on them. Is that what that is?
absolutely, people need
Oh,
to hear the
damn.
truth.
That's savage.
Well, like there's a guy that's
That
one of my
is
friends.
savage.
That's
Fuck
savage.
around
You
and
wake up
find
and choose
out.
violence with
Yeah.
that. Damn.
Well, like, there was a, and you know how attorneys are mostly assholes and arrogant. Like there was one the other day that I was trying to help him with something for his insurance, and it was like I called him 9 times, and he's one of those ones where when he needs something, he'll call you. And finally, this is over the past 3 weeks, he calls me, and he needs something. He's like, call me, and I called him back, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, I go, "Are you in the hospital?" And he goes, "No." And I go, "Were you near death?" And he goes, "No." I go, "Well, how am I supposed to know this if you don't answer your phone when I call you?" And I go, "What if you were hit by a car?" And he goes, I get what you're trying to do." And I go, "No, no, I'm not trying to do anything, but like, that's arrogant and rude to not just And I was like, "I don't care if you're busy. Respond a day or two later, not 3 weeks later of just nothing." Because like, what if I wake up and hear you were hit by a school bus and you're dead, you were decapitated? He goes, and he goes, all right, I'll make a better point with it. And I go, so
Is
as an
is
attorney,
he a client?
yeah, he's my client. And he goes, I go, as an attorney, you're apologizing to me. He goes, I am apologizing to you as an attorney, and I am a New Yorker, and
Yeah,
this
so
hurts me.
I just want to go on record here.
It's because you care. It's
If
because you
if
care.
you're an
I
attorney
do.
from Nebraska right now, like, I mean, for God's sake, I mean, you hate us right now, right? We love attorneys. I get it. I grew up in the Northeast. I had a lady duck in, and she had to be 75. And I was taking too long going to like the little like door that kind of like spins around, right? Whatever the hell it is, going to the into the hotel. She got into the same thing with me because she couldn't wait any longer to get behind me. And I was like, "Welcome to New York," right? And my wife was like
Yeah.
hysterical. She's like, "We're not in North Carolina anymore. Either you walk or they're gonna duck in with you." I'm like, "Damn."
Or they'll
You
run
know,
you over.
like
Yeah, they
seriously,
don't give two shits.
right?
Yeah.
But it is funny. Like people have they're cultural, right? And I lived around with like the military. It is a different. Like I talk a little quick, but I've learned to slow it down if I'm talking to somebody, down by me, North Carolina, or just a little slower, a little, it's a little. But if I call someone in New York, there is no report. Here it is. Here's what I got. Yay, nay, off the call. Literally 10-minute call. Done.
Well, the best part was that he was trying to do that to me, and he was like, he kept trying to cut me off and go into what he needed, and I kept stop. So why weren't you picking up your phone when I was calling you trying to help you? And it was because he wanted to switch a plan to a better one for something he needed to be catered better towards. And he was just no big deal, no big deal, no big deal. So I was like, this was for you. I was only helping you. So we're going to resolve this before we even get into what you need, just to make this clear.
Wow.
This is funny, but at the same time,
That's like really,
it-
I respect the shit out of that.
right. It's setting expectations in terms of how we're going to work together professionally. Now, have you ever fired a client, Clint? I don't know if you can, like the policies, but you say, hey, you know what? I'm not the person.
Yeah, and I didn't do it at first before because you try to think that this, and that. And what I've realized is like sometimes you can do everything you're gonna do and want to do, and if they don't want your help, they're not gonna take it.
Yep.
You can say to your blue in the face, and I would continue to say like, hey, like what? So then I just realized I'm like, and then the one person was just being like rude and stuff like that. I don't have time for your stuff. Maybe you have something more going on personal in your life. If it changes and you want to have a more respectful conversation, I'm more than willing to entertain that. But until then, I wish you the best.
Was that on
And
the
they're
first
like,
call or like follow-up calls or like what was that?
no, somebody I knew. I was actually friends with the person, and I was just like, I don't have time for your crap. Like, like if you're not gonna respect me,
Trying to
then
help.
like
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, and I forget what she did, and I told her I was like, well, what if I came in here and I was a complete asshole to you, and I demanded all this stuff? Well, that's different. I know it's not. So like, that's cool. Talk to whoever else you want to, and I promise you, they're not going to tell you as truthful as I am to you. And it wasn't even that. It was just being like very disrespectful of time management and this and that, and expecting to cater towards them. And I'm like, we got to be fair to each other. I get it, you get busy, and I'll work around your schedule, but it was always like this and that,
Be
and it was never.
grateful, like be grateful and courteous, like, and let's work
It's
together.
just, yeah,
People
it's
just,
professional courtesy, right?
Yeah, and
That's what it is.
and like I mean, it was a friend of a friend, and then they were like, it was funny because other friends came up to me and they're like, I heard you fired her. And I was like, I didn't fire her. I just said, like, we're not a good fit. Like, I'll still be her friend and say
I'd
hi
be
to
like,
her.
yeah,
like,
you fired her, right? I'd be like, yeah, you can
yeah.
say whatever you want.
quiet.
Yeah, nice. Oh man. All right. So you had Christine, I know you have some topics here that you want to get to. We got the Super Bowl. We got,
Yeah,
there's like,
that's really my only topic that I came prepared with.
truly. That's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's yours.
The floor is mine.
It's yours.
All right, Clint. Who would you like? And I'm gonna let you rethink your initial answer. And we're talking about kindness and not being rude.
Yeah.
So, who do you want to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, I really don't care about either team in particular, but if I were to pick one, I like the 49ers to win because I think they're an underdog. And I would like to see them to win for that fact. Like,
2 point, by the way, 48 and a half over under for those out there casually, looking at this, but that's fine. Go ahead.
oh, so the Chiefs are favored or 49ers?
I think it's the damn it. Oh hell no, I gotta look real quick. Hang
Okay.
on. Like hell, maybe I'm damn wrong.
Everybody knows I asked Clint this before we started recording, and I asked him who he wanted to win, and he said the first thing he said was not Taylor Swift.
Right. The
And
Niners are favored by 2,
she
by the
can't
way.
win or lose the Super Bowl. She has already won, everybody.
Oh god.
How much you want to bet you?
Oh god.
Hey, I'll bet you
Please.
guys something. I'll bet you she performs.
No, she's not going to perform. She's on
can't.
tour in Japan. She has.
I know.
You think
And
she's
there
not
are
performing?
and they've already done like the math that you can do it
Yeah,
because she can still make it there
she's going to make
within
it.
like 2 to 3 hours for halftime. And where else would be a better time for her to spotlight her new CD coming out than her to announce it? Because she can be the special guest. And
I
this
don't
is
think
just
she's
my
going to do
prediction.
that. I don't think she's going to do
No.
that.
No. First off, why does she need it? She already gets.
Not
I
gonna
mean,
do
she's
that.
getting
She
every
already
camera
knows like
view.
people are hating. She doesn't want to take the spotlight, I don't
No,
think. She's
that would
talked
make
about
her look
yeah, it would
horrible.
be weird. And
Horrible.
plus I heard she's gonna be back. They did the math, I thought, and they said she's gonna be back Saturday night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if the weather, like if everything kind of goes
Are
smoothly,
we calculating Taylor Swift's plane ride now? Is that where we're at on this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah.
we've died. I mean, we've hit a new point. Good. All right. So who's gonna win, Clint?
I say the 49ers.
Chiefs, baby. And I was a Chiefs fan before the
Yeah, no
Taylor
one believes that. No one believes. There's nobody listening to this damn thing
two
that believes
worlds.
that.
Patrick Mahomes was my quarterback for last year's fantasy football.
Then why'd you quit them?
What do you mean? Why did I quit them?
So you're rooting for the are you still with the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you switched to the
I gotta go
49ers.
Niners. I gotta go Niners for Brock Purdy. Anybody who's drafted at the last pick and now goes wins the Super Bowl, good for you, Brock Purdy. Right? So I'm down with that. All right.
I watched something with him the other day, and it was like he's like I was down 24/7. They asked him like what made him want to come, and he goes, when you're the underdog like me, when you came in, you barely got drafted, barely knew you were gonna get a place on a seat, and you look up and he goes, and I this isn't religious or anything. He's like, I've always looked at God to help me. It's like I looked up to God and said, I can do this and nobody's gonna stop me. And when you look at when he came out that second half, it was just like the bad news bears with the other team, and he just took it over completely. And it was just like he's like, I was not gonna leave that field without that victory. I'm not being cocky, but I had it in me that I was going to give it everything I had to
Yeah.
win that game.
No, there's no way I can root against Brock Purdy. Take Taylor Swift, that's cool and all, but So, anyways, all right, we finally did it. We finally got here, right? I had to look up the spread. I got so confused, but yeah, it's Niners -2. I would 100% take that right now for you
Same here.
out there, right? So, all right, man, that is it. I appreciate you both, Christine. 2 episodes down. You haven't run away yet. All right.
How was it, Clint?
Yeah. How'd
What's
we do?
that?
We make a
How'd we
good
do? You can
duo?
grade us separately.
Oh, I thought this was great. Very like it. No, it's very like it's almost like you're here and you're not here. Do you get what I mean? Like you feel like it's just like you're having a conversation when you're sitting next to somebody at a coffee shop or at the bar, and you're just like bullshit with people. Like
That's you know what? I mean, that's it right there. Right. I
Yeah,
mean, there's
Dave,
some
like the
stuff.
first time the first time the reason it didn't work out was because Dave's power went out and me and Clint just stayed on talking for
First
like
off, that was like the fourth time. That was literally the
oh,
fourth
that
time.
was the first time. That was the first time when the power went out. That was the
yeah,
July
that
was
was the
like the
first one.
third. You forgetting Patrick's birthday was the funniest damn thing. Clint being sick. Yeah, you know what? It was my power. You're right. I don't know, but okay. Well, look, Clint. Thank you, man. And I'll tell you, I didn't know where this was going to go. Like a lot of these that we do, I have no clue where this is going to go. The fact you talking about building your brand, you build your business, you help people. Here's what I do, and I just be happy and friendly. Man, if you don't take anything else away, dude, take that away. For God's sake, take that away. So
Honestly, it works. Just whatever you do, just do it.
good for you, man. Congratulations on like finding your thing because that's so powerful. All right, for everybody else, Christine and I are taking a break after doing this back-to-back nights. Come back next week. We got two stupid fun guests lined up. Hopefully we'll have like fun like this, And Clint, thanks again, man. That's it, everybody. One more down. We'll see you next week.
bye.
Wait for the
Bye,
camera.
guys.
There you go, Clint. Later.
Later.